What's up, world? It's Nate the Great from Flight 214.
And it's Ty. You listening to another episode of The Breakdown.
So what's up, Ty? What we got on tap for today?
Man, we got a lot of great topics today. LeBron going to LA. LeBron, man, he's very unpredictable, man.
LeBron don't give a fuck. It's like wherever I feel like kicking it at, and who's ever gonna pay me the most, then I'm there. He is, which I know you gotta respect it, but coming from the Jordan era and the old school '90s era NBA, it's kind of weird for me to see a guy jump around and bounce around from team to team like that. And not only that, it's weird for me to see stuff like super teams, like the Golden State Warriors. It's
they just got DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, at what point does it stop being fair? It's like, what's the point in watching the entire NBA season? You already know who's going to wind up in the finals. The Golden State Warriors and whoever LeBron James plays for.
I mean, well, that may not be true this year because he has moved to the West, so he will have to beat Golden State or a tough Houston team in the Western Conference Finals.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, so they're in the same conference now, so they won't be able to face off in the finals anymore.
Right. I mean, I think the West is like really, really good right now, but the East, man, they suck. I don't know why he didn't just go to a team in the East. He would have been guaranteed another trip to the championship. Why go to the West?
I mean, it's clear. I don't think it's about championships for him at this point, because otherwise, you're right. That would have been the better alternative. But I guess there's no more places in the East that you want to live.
Well, I think he may be thinking about like movies. I mean, they say he was going to do like Space Jam 2. I think that's a stupid idea, but
yeah,
he want to do Space Jam 2. I mean, his son is going to be playing on the team with, I think, Scottie Pippen Jr. and Kenyon Martin Jr. So you got that. And his wife, she's trying to do the hustle thing with her own business and be an entrepreneur. I'm pretty sure it's hard to, be a high-end, hustler in Cleveland. It'll be a lot easier in L.A.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's hard to do a lot of shit in Cleveland.
And he got 4 years or $154 million. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure he could give her a little loan and it won't hurt his pockets.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in time, he can bankroll whatever crazy ideas she come up with, and it won't matter to him.
I mean, he like, just, let me practice in the gym, put my jumpers up, stay the fuck out my way, get busy, do something.
Just stay out of my hair.
Stay out of my hair and let me, try to win a championship in L.A. I mean, and, he got Lonzo Ball, which they say he leaked that his knee was injured to the media, so teams would be less interested to recruit him or try to or the Lakers to trade him.
Yeah, that sounds like something that old man Ball would do.
Yeah, it wasn't Lonzo. Let's be honest. It was LeVar Ball. And he decided to say, hey, you know what? My son is born in L.A. or born in California, went to college in California. And I say he was going to be a Laker, and y'all not about to trade him that easy.
So, I admittedly don't follow the NBA. So, I'm not familiar with how good are the Lakers? Like, who do they have?
They have, like, Kuzma. They traded Julius Randle, but they still have Brook Lopez. They just got Rondo, JaVale McGee, goofy ass, and Lance Stevenson, the guy who blew in LeBron James' ear when he was at Indiana.
Yeah, that should be interesting. Now they playing on the same team.
I mean, I guess sometimes your best friend could be your worst enemy.
That was some weird shit. It's like, what are you doing, bro? Like, is this supposed to take me off my game or just creep me out?
I would have told him, like, you can trade anybody to the Lakers except for that nigga. Keep him in fucking Indiana. This nigga blowing in my ear. No way.
We'll take anybody but that guy.
Yeah. But, at the end of the day, man, it's going to be interesting that Cleveland, they already then knocked down or tore down LeBron James' life-size poster off the wall.
I mean, these people in Cleveland are ridiculous. It's like, do you really expect this? Hey guys, this is not the '90s. Do you really expect for him to stay there his entire career? I mean, was it not evident to you the first time that he left that it was possible that it would happen again? And aside from that, he's taken you to the playoffs umpteen amount of years.
This guy been to the championship 9 years straight. He went with Cleveland. He then went with Miami. This guy has been to the NBA championship 9 straight years. He's consistent.
Yeah, and there's no way Cleveland makes it to the championship without LeBron James.
And in my opinion, he should have been the MVP. He had a whole bunch of chumps on his team, and he had better stats than James Harden. To me, he should have had 9 straight league MVPs because this guy right here, he leads the league in stats in almost every category, almost every year. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I mean, wouldn't it just get predictable too if you actually gave him the MVP every year?
So not 9
this
years.
This is the LeBron James award.
I'll take it back. Not 9 years. Maybe maybe 4 years. 4 years out of the 9, he should have won the MVP.
But even still, I mean, at that point in time, you got to give us a little bit of parity, mix it up a little bit. Like, okay,
I mean, Michael Jordan.
We got to let somebody else win.
Jordan didn't. When Magic and Bird was doing their thing, they didn't. When the Spurs and the Lakers and Kobe was doing their thing, they didn't.
Yeah, this is true.
So, now the NBA got Andre Iguodala as the NBA Finals MVP one year. Like, what kind of shit is that? And I like Andre Iguodala. Also, did you hear about that guy snatching that "Make America Great Again" hat off the 16-year-old head and throwing a soft drink in his face?
I literally I didn't even read about it. I just read the headline a couple of minutes before we started recording this. So I haven't really heard, I don't know the details or the in-depth information. So, give us a little bit of background story. Like, what happened here?
I mean, basically, a guy ripped a hat off his head and threw a soda in his face at Whataburger. According to,
so they were both customers.
Yeah, it said the guy who was approached and got his hat ripped off his head. Name was Richard. He said he was out with friends when a man approached him, removed the hat, tossed a beverage in his face, and then exited the establishment. The incident in question, a portion of which allegedly shown a video of the incident at the Whataburger in San Antonio. The man walks out the restaurant and was heard saying, "I just bought a new home, and this hat gonna find a new home in my fireplace."
That's ridiculous. I hate identity politics, man. It's like, so what? The guy got a hat on. Like, does that give you the right to assault the man? Because let's be honest, that was fucking assault.
I mean,
you can't put your hands on somebody.
He didn't. I mean, taking the hat off, is not right, but I understand. Throwing the drink in the kid's face, that was a little excessive.
I mean, even if you don't agree with the kid's politics, that doesn't give you the right to put your hands on him and remove his hat and basically steal it and walk off with it.
I mean, I agree in some cases, but that hat represented a lot of hatred and negative shit when it comes to a group of people in America, African Americans. And I can understand sometimes in moments of passion or, moments like that, people make bad decisions.
So does that give you the right to break the law and assault somebody? I mean,
snatching.
Be that as it may.
I mean,
yes, some people unfortunately relate their politic, or they carry their politics too close to the vest. And okay, I can understand the hat is definitely controversial, but regardless of how controversial it is, isn't this still America? Isn't this still a free country? Can't we wear what we want to wear?
So if a guy walked in front of you every day and had a fuck Nate hat on every day.
He didn't see this guy every day. Both of these guys
Okay,
were just
a guy that you knew had a fuck Nate.
Did he know the guy? Again, from what I understand, as you just explained to me, they were both customers in a Burger King, which means they were or wherever. They were two random individuals who didn't know each other, had never seen each other, and probably would never see each other again. There's no excuse for that.
I agree. You should never assault anybody, but that's bullshit. That was hardly assault. He just took the guy hat off, politely removed it. Now,
did he politely remove it?
He politely removed it, but the bad thing is he threw the drink in the kid's face. When he threw the drink in the kid's face, that's when it became somewhat out of line.
Well, that's also when it became assault. I don't know. I think I'm pretty sure legally they would consider you placing your hand on someone's head.
Oh wow! Somebody threw a drink on me. Oh, I'm assaulted. The ice cube blacked my eye.
Hey man, I don't necessarily agree with the fact that it's considered assault on the same level as it would be if you punched somebody in the face. Because let's be honest, throwing a drink in someone's face is in no way tantamount to punching somebody in the face. But be that as it may, I'm just saying, from a conversational standpoint, that's legally considered assault.
Is it really?
Yeah, legally, like as far as the law is concerned, they consider that assault. You can't place your hands on someone else. I mean, you walking around. You can't walk around to in restaurants or on the street and not liking what's someone's clothing choice for the day and decide that you're going to remove them of it and take it with you. For one, it's theft at the moment you take their shit, and for two, it's legally considered assault technically whenever you put your hands on somebody.
Hey man, I understand the technicalities, but in all reality, snatching the guy hat off is not fucking assault. Now,
legally speaking,
the throwing the drink is assault. I just looked it up. Throwing a drink on somebody is considered throwing anything at someone is considered assault.
Yeah.
So the throwing the drink, that's bullshit though, but legally it's assault.
So you're saying you looked up, you researched this, and it says that you could legally walk up to a perfect stranger and remove their hat from their head, and that's not considered assault?
No, so it's saying assault is the unwanted touching, whether...
Well, that would be unwanted touching, right?
I mean, it's a hat. He didn't touch...
You gotta touch someone's head to remove their hat.
No, you just grab it by the bib.
I mean, let's be honest though. The hat is closely attached to your head, so touching someone's bib and snatching off the hat is gonna affect the head. It's gonna move. Your head is gonna move, and for all intents and purposes, you may as well have touched the person's head.
They say maybe battery. Maybe battery.
I know if somebody walked up to me and took my fucking hat off, we would have a problem.
Well, I mean,
and it wouldn't have ended as peacefully as him waltzing out the door with my shit in his hand either.
Hey, I mean, the guy was a pussy. What can we say?
I mean, clearly, but that's beside the point. It's like, you can't, even if a guy is not willing or capable of defending himself, that doesn't give you the right to bully him around.
I mean, this guy didn't look at this guy and say, you look like a pussy. He just...
Well, I mean, do you have to say that in so many words when you walk up to a man and you snatch his hat from his head? Aside from getting spit on or slapped, that's probably the highest level of disrespect that you could experience.
I mean, at the point where you make the decision to snatch the hat off, I think you made up in your mind, like, you ready for whatever. Like,
yeah, but the point is he knew that the kid probably wasn't about to do anything about it, and
so he got psychic powers now.
I haven't seen the kid, but again, you can look at someone and tell if they're about that life or not.
I mean, you the one that said these nerd assassins are out here training in UFC and jiu-jitsu and...
Well, yeah, looks can also be deceiving at some point in time, so you approaching situations with that mindset can get your ass kicked if you don't know what you're doing.
I mean, the only
But
mindset you got to have, I don't give a fuck how big you are, is a killer mindset. Like, if you disrespect me, I'm going to fuck you up. That's the only mindset that anybody has to have when it comes down to defending themselves. And if you get your ass whooped, it's just fighting. You get your ass whooped.
yeah, but what I'm saying is this: the kid probably didn't look like he was gonna fight. The guy assumed that he wasn't gonna fight, and he decided to roll the dice and try his hand. And it turns out he won in a manner of speaking because the kid didn't do anything about being disrespected in this manner. But he could have just as likely turned around and knocked his fucking head off.
Hey, well, that's how fights happen. And speaking of fights, your boy Max Holloway, man, what's up with him, man, in the UFC?
I just heard today that he recently, actually as early as this morning, was declared to be out of the fight, the co-main event of tomorrow's UFC. So, and I was highly disappointed because I really wanted to see the fight between him and Ortega. That was probably had the potential to be probably one of the better fights of this year. But when I found out why Max Holloway was declared medically unable to fight, I was even more surprised because it said it was. And again, there's probably new information out as we record this now, and the last I checked up on it was earlier today. But the last time I was checking on it, they said that he was experiencing concussion-like symptoms.
Yeah.
And it got so bad that at today's open workout, he literally collapsed and fell out and had to be rushed to the ER.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he was admitted to the Las Vegas hospital twice this week, and he participated in several interviews that caused concern about his physical state. Basically the guy was just out of there. And I don't know if it was from cutting weight. I don't know what brought these symptoms on, but, this guy been having bad luck when it comes to the UFC and just staying healthy.
This is the second fight that he couldn't take. Well, I mean, the last one sort of was a weight issue, even though he didn't, collapse and need to be rushed to the ER. He wasn't able to make weight, so he had to be pulled out of the fight against Khabib, which would have been another good fight.
Well, he also had a leg injury that forced him out of a title defense versus Frankie Edgar.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, he was supposed to fight Frankie Edgar and got hurt.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, sometimes your body is telling you to retire before your mind wants to retire.
But Holloway is a young guy. He's not even 30 yet.
I mean, but look at all the punishment he didn't take. Because he's not, a finesse fighter. He's a grinding type of fighter. He stays on you. He's using his jab. He's taking a lot of punches. He's throwing a lot of punches. I mean, that takes a fucking toll on you.
I would disagree. I disagree with that. Max Holloway is a finesse fighter. He's a lot more of a finesse fighter than the average fight fan would notice. You really have to check out some of his fights, and if you scout him out and you really take a look at him, you can see that he employs a lot more skill than it appears.
No, he's a skillful fighter. I like Holloway, but at the end of the day,
the thing about Holloway,
he's a stand-up fighter.
Well, yeah, the thing about Holloway is it depends on how he wants to fight on that night. Like, if he wants to stay on the outside and pick you apart, moving in, moving out, avoiding damage, then he can do that, and I've seen him do that. But there's times, like in the Ricardo Lamas fight, where at the end of the fight, they just point to the ground, say, let's go, and they throw down for 15, 20 seconds. So, I mean, he can slug and he can fight strategically, so I wouldn't say that he's one of those guys. He's definitely not a Justin Gaethje type of guy who takes a shitload of damage. So it's really kind of it's crazy to see it happen to a guy like that. You would, if someone told me that Justin Gaethje or what's that guy's name, The Damage, I fucking hate that I'm forgetting his name, and I'm sorry, guy, but Darren Elkins or Justin Gaethje, if you were to tell me that they had brain issues or concussion-like symptoms, then I would be like, yeah, that's what you get when you fight like a fucking maniac. But I wouldn't have expected this from Max Holloway.
Yeah, it may be from cutting weight, man. I just hope that it's nothing serious. But I mean, that's pretty alarming stuff when the guy, basically passing out and shit, just doing basic open workouts.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you make your living as a fighter and someone tells you that you have an injury to the brain, that's something that you want to take seriously because the brain can't heal itself. It's not like a knee or a hamstring or a shoulder. If you injure your brain, it's not recovering. And you only get one.
Yeah, I mean, that's why these UFC dudes should get paid more. I mean, at the end of the day, like, shit, you got fucking, boxers like Adrian Broner making more money than some of the top UFC fighters.
Well, yeah, first of all, yes, I agree. UFC fighters should definitely get paid more when you have guys on the lower level getting 15 and 15, which is 15 to show and 15 to win, or even 30 and 30. That is a travesty when you consider how much money is available to be made within the industry. They definitely should pay their fighters more. Now, on the flip side, when people say things like, oh, well, boxers on average make so much more money than UFC fighters, that may be true depending on how you're looking at it, though. Because most boxers aren't making a shitload of money either. It's just the top tier guys who can manage to leverage enough in their own favor to pull in more. But the guys on the lower level, I mean, I'm pretty sure you know this because you're more of a boxing fan than I am. There's guys on the lower level that legitimately struggle to even be noticed enough to get a big money fight.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's pros and cons to both. But here go UFC 219 payout. So, Cyborg versus Holly Holmes. Cyborg got 500,000. Holly Holm got 300,000. No bonus for winning. We also had Dan Hooker and Mark Diakes fought, and Dan Hooker brought in $48,000. We have some other guy, Tim Elliott and Mark De La Rosa, 56,000, and the other guy got 12,000. That's not a lot of fucking money. These are, the people who are making the card.
Well, I mean, yeah, but guys like De La Rosa and Tim Elliott and these guys are on the lower level of the UFC. Now, obviously, I think that they should get paid more. I think that they should have a salary cap, sort of like, well, no, not a salary cap, but a league minimum, so to speak, like other professional sports.
Okay, here go UFC 220 something. I don't know, for 2 something, and it's Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson. He made 370,000 no win bonus. Like, Demetrius Johnson is a big enough name that he should be getting paid at least $1 million.
Demetrius Johnson is a prime example of what's wrong with the UFC pay scale. And he's also a prime example that skill doesn't necessarily lead to more money when it comes to MMA.
Really, Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson should be making about $5 to $10 million a fight.
Demetrius Johnson is probably the best MMA fighter ever, arguably. You can argue that Demetrius Johnson is the Michael Jordan of MMA.
So how much do you think a guy like that, when Floyd Mayweather, he making $100 million a fight, on average. What do you think a guy like Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson is worth per fight to you as a fan?
Here's the thing about that. Because people argue that, oh, well, Mighty Mouse being so small, such a small of a guy, his fights aren't that exciting because there's not the threat of a knockout the way it is with some of the heavier guys. But when you think about the question from that perspective and you compare him with Floyd Mayweather, who also has a terribly, terribly boring fight style.
Hey,
who's
man.
not entertaining to watch in the slightest.
The best defensive boxer of all time.
Boring
Floyd
ass shit.
Mayweather, the money team. The money
Boring
team, baby.
ass shit. It's effective. No one ever said it wasn't
Now, you
effective.
do fight training. You know that shit, the timing and the technique that he uses is almost impossible.
Just because it's effective doesn't mean it's fun for me to watch.
Oh, man, get that. Okay, so back to Demetrius Johnson. So what was the point of Demetrius Johnson?
The point is, when you think about, when you compare apples to apples, when you have a guy in Floyd Mayweather with a, I don't know, let's call it not so attractive, air quotes, fight style, and a guy like Demetrius Johnson whose fighting excitement level has been questioned in the past, you have to ask, how is it that a guy like Mayweather can make so much with a fighting style so boring, and a guy like Demetrius Johnson can make so little?
I could give you the answer right now.
Because Mayweather has managed to leverage the power for himself to somehow make people want to see him lose, even though they know he's probably not gonna.
No, it's Bishop Magic Dunn UFC pimping the shit out of every UFC fighter that's fighting today.
Well, it's not just that in that situation either.
It is.
Because
They just greedy son of bitches.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that would imply that when Mighty Mouse fought, the UFC sold a shit ton of pay-per-views, and they just decided not to give him any. But the fact of the matter is, Mighty Mouse fights don't sell as well as some other UFC fights.
I mean, but when you take a lot of power out of the fighter's hands, just for instance, you can't even wear your own logo. You can't sign your own lucrative sports deal. You can't trademark yourself. You can't do a lot of things that make iconic athletes iconic. What is LeBron James without Nike? What is Tiger Woods without Nike? What is Steph Curry without Under Armour or Michael Jordan without Gatorade?
I have historically railed against the whole Reebok deal. I hated when they did that. I hated when they signed with Reebok and they made the UFC all super generic and uniform. I loved it in the days where they were allowed to basically get sponsors. Whichever company was willing to sponsor the fighters, they were able to accept and wear representation for. Not only that, they were able to bring forth more personality with your personal style choices. You can't do that with a boring ass uniform. I mean, even in the NBA, though there is an NFL, though there are uniforms, you still get to add a little bit of personal flair to it with regards to at least the shoes that you wear.
I mean, fuck the uniform. Run me my coins. I need the deal from Nike. Fuck the custom uniform. I need to have my check from Nike and Gatorade and Chevy, and you are taking away my leverage to make money with endorsements by making me wear Reebok every fucking fight.
I mean, yeah, that's true too, because whereas before a fighter was free to accumulate as many sponsors as he could, so if you had 10 people willing to sponsor you, you could run 10 sponsors. Now there's only one. I mean, they get a check for
small check.
Yeah, they get a check for Reebok sponsorship, albeit very small. And even still, even if it was the size of one of the previous sponsor checks they got, that's still only one when you had when before you had nine more. So you got to give up 9 to run the one, and it's like that doesn't make sense.
And look at what is Michael Jordan without his own signature shoe. A lot of people who never watched Michael Jordan and his greatness, they still are fans of Michael Jordan tennis shoes. So sometimes taking away a fighter's ability to be an individual, that not only hurts the fighter, but that hurts the UFC.
Oh, check this out. even if you want to have them wear uniforms, if you want to say, hey, the UFC is joining the levels of mainstream sports, and we want our fighters to be uniformed, then hey, I don't so much have a problem with that either. But at least let them come to the ring in whatever they want to come to the ring in. In a basketball game, for example, you use Michael Jordan. Yeah, they play in uniforms, but the guys are able to wear whatever sneakers they're capable of getting sponsored by. So, I mean, do something similar. If you want to have the guys fight in uniform fight kits, then at least let them come to the ring in whatever sponsored gear they have.
You know, or if you sell any merchandise, UFC should have a contract where they can make some money off the merchandise too, basically. But you shouldn't tie people's hands up in a bullshit contract and take money out their, food out their mouth because you greedy motherfuckers are trying to pay back your loan, from buying the UFC. Well, who bought the UFC?
No, well, they had to deal with Reebok before they sold.
So, that was just a hustle from the previous owners. Like, we're gonna make this money real quick and sell.
Yeah, that was a hustle from jump.
Oh well, and who are the guys who bought the UFC? What's their names?
William Morris.
Bishop Magic Dumb William Morris. That's what we're gonna call him because he pimping.
No, Bishop, it's not a guy. It's a firm. They actually manage half of Hollywood, or a sizable portion of Hollywood. They have several different business.
So they pimping a lot of bitches. Basically, they pimping a lot of bitches.
Yeah. They have their tentacles, I should say, in quite a lot of business in the entertainment realm.
Wow. Well, I know they're doing a number on the UFC. Hopefully, they making their money back. I guess that's why they let McGregor fight Mayweather, who you was just talking about.
Oh, that's also why they let CM Punk fight again for the tune of $500,000. We're talking about fighter pay. You got legitimate, high-level guys going out and fighting for fucking 15 and 15, and you willing to pay CM Punk, a guy like CM Punk, $500,000 to come out and put on a performance like he did this past fight?
Yeah, he sucks.
Anybody, you can go to any gym in America. Close your eyes, spin in a circle, and point to somebody at random, and they have a good chance at beating CM Punk up.
Yeah, and you know what? And that is a lot of money because they said in UFC 219, the total payout for every fighter that night, what do you think it was? Every fighter, UFC
what,
219 combined.
I don't know. I'm gonna say $3 million.
$1.7 million.
Yeah, sounds about right.
1.7. Okay, let's round it up to 1.8. $1.8 million for every fighter on that card to get paid.
Sounds about right.
You greedy bastards. Speaking of money, who you gonna put your money on? You gonna put it on DC or Miocic?
I don't know. It's a tough one to call. I don't know, man. I really can't say, because even though DC was undefeated at heavyweight until he went down
12-0
to light heavyweight, and he beat some legit guys. He beat Josh Barnett. He beat a juiced up Bigfoot Silva. I mean, this is when Bigfoot was in Strikeforce, so he was allowed to get on all the Mexican supplements he wanted. And he beat him. He tossed around Dan Henderson like a rag doll. So, I mean, DC has beat some quality guys. But Stipe is the heavyweight champ for a reason. And not only is he the heavyweight champ, he's the first heavyweight champ to defend his title 3 times. So, he's no chump.
Well, DC claims that the guy has not been getting pushed wrestling, so he's going to exploit his wrestling ability, and make it a real tough, boring, lean on him, try to take him to the ground, push him on the cage, knees and elbows on the cage type fight.
I believe that, because that's basically DC's. That's his strategy. That's how he fights.
I mean, but Miocic, he's the favorite, 2-1.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about those odds. I don't think that I don't know that I would necessarily call it a pick'em, but I don't know that I feel comfortable with DC as a 2-1 underdog. I know this. With odds like that, if I was betting the fight, I would put money on DC.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I think DC gonna beat the guy, but it's gonna be a tough fight. Like, he ain't no chump. It's two champions, about to square up and do the thing. And I think it's gonna be a good fight though. You have DC lightweight, heavyweight champion, and Miocic is the heavyweight champion. I think they're gonna go and put on a good performance. But there's always a chance the DC will be on that bullshit and try to wrestle the whole fight.
I mean, that's what he's gonna do. You can guarantee that that's what he's gonna do. That's what he does.
I mean, he tried to throw some hands with John Jones.
Yeah,
though.
I mean, he throws his punches to set up his takedowns just because he realizes he can't come out and shoot straight away.
I mean, I think that he throws with some bad intentions when he throws punches. Now, some guys really do just throw punches to set up takedowns, but when he throws punches, I think he wants to knock the guy out.
Yeah, I'm not saying that when he throws punches, he's not committed to the punches. I mean, he's committed to them, but I'm saying you can never get confused into thinking that DC plans to stand and strike with you. Like, he's striking, he'll throw punches, and he'll throw meaningful punches, but it's only to set up takedowns or to clinch. Like, he likes to fight in the clinch and get dirty with uppercuts and hooks from inside, and so that's his game plan. I mean, that's if he wants to win, that's what he's got to do. Especially against a guy like Stipe, who is like 6'5". DC's got to be maybe 6 feet, so probably not even that. Probably like 5'10", I think. So I mean, if DC want any chance to win, he's got to get inside.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's going to be a tough fight. It'd be a good fight if they actually fight. But,
I think this one is going down. I mean, DC's not known for pulling out of fights. He doesn't have to make weight for this one, so you don't have to worry about that. So, I mean, I think this one will go down.
Because he like, 240?
Right now, I think so.
Yeah, he's like 240, but he say he's still training like he's 205.
Yeah, I don't think after this he's going back to light heavyweight.
Yeah, 35 pounds is a lot of fucking weight to cut.
At his age, too. I mean, DC is what? I don't know exactly how old he is off the top of my head, but I know he's closer to 40. He's closer to 40 than he is 30. And when you're closer to 40 than you are 30, and you like eating the way DC likes eating, then you're not going to want to lose 35 fucking pounds.
Yeah, DC is 39.
39 years old. At 39 years old and loving food.
5'11". 5'11" and 39 years of age.
39 years old and loves the food. So, yeah, no, I mean, let's be honest. You can expect for him to vacate, especially if he wins. If he wins, if he loses, he's probably going to retire, I think. I don't know. I don't quote me on that, but I think if he loses, he's probably going to retire. And if he wins, then he's going to vacate the 205 belt, because in his mind, he's got no plans on ever being weighing 205 pounds again.
Would you watch the John Jones DC3?
Yeah, and it would be even more entertaining if it was at heavyweight. That's what I'm kind of hoping. I'm kind of hoping that DC wins, even though I like Stipe too. I'm kind of hoping that DC wins the title, and then they reinstate John Jones, and they come back and fight for the third time, but at heavyweight.
So, who you got?
In the three-peat?
Yeah.
The guy that won the first two.
Yeah.
I'm kind of feeling like DC can beat anybody not named John Jones.
Yeah, Bone Jones got his number. He just got the guy's number.
If anybody has got someone's number, John Jones has got DC's number.
Speaking of got somebody's number, Dame Dash definitely is trying to get Lee Daniels' number. Or actually, he ran up on him at the what was it? Gladys Knight concert, or
it was like
Diana Ross concert.
When I see you, I'm gonna see you. You gotta give me what you owe me.
So, do you think Dame is justified in his actions?
I mean, no, that's not in the business world. That's not how you handle disagreements and altercations. You send your lawyer to the guy's office.
I mean, he did that obviously, but the guy's tying it up in court.
Yeah.
But you came to me. Hey man, I got an idea. I need $2 million. I give you $2 million cash, and I tell you, you can either pay me back with interest, or you can put me in some of your projects, or you can pay me 5% on every project you do until you run me my coins. And he does none of the above.
Yeah, $2 million is a lot to owe. So I can definitely understand how Damon Dash feels a little salty over that,
A little salty?
to say the least.
I mean, that's $2 million bucks. I mean, and the thing about it is, you know how much money you could have made by flipping that $2 million in 5 or 6 years? I'm pretty sure you could have turned that $2 million in 5 or 6 years into at least $5 million, maybe even $10 million.
Yeah, but instead you're getting welched out by the guy who made Precious.
And the thing about it is, he obviously got it. It ain't like the dude doesn't have it.
Yeah, the thing is though, it's what it just seems like to me is $2 million is a lot of money for somebody to come out of the pocket with, and nobody wants to just hand over a fresh $2 million.
I mean, but the thing about it is, this guy's the reason why you got the other $20 million.
Yeah, I mean that's why it probably would have been better. I don't know. I mean, you want to say it probably would have been better for him to just give him some on the back end, but then he would have wound up giving him a lot more than the $2 million. But what it seems like to me is that Lee Daniels has got $20 million in the bank, and he don't like the idea of having 17.
I mean, but at the end of the day, he's gonna have less than that because he's gonna have to pay the $2 million, some interest, lawyer fees, pain and suffering, all type of other shit.
Yeah, you know, when you owe somebody $2 million, you can't expect to just skate on that. You know, they're gonna locate you, even if it's just with lawyers. It's like, yeah, you gotta spend money to continue to fight this and postpone this and jerk the guy around in court. So you may as well just go ahead and pay what you owe.
I mean, people are fighting over $100 now for $2 million. For $2 million, I don't know what I'd do, but it wouldn't be nice.
And then again, this is like this Dame Dash here. It's not like some Joe Schmo on the street that you can string out and string along until they run out of money that they want to spend on this. I mean, I'm pretty sure Dame Dash has got more than
anybody that got $2 million alone got enough money to hire a lawyer and try to get the money back.
Yeah, unless that was your last $2 million.
And how many people gonna do that?
Yeah, then you would hope that you wouldn't be loaning that out at that point.
But yeah, that's a crazy story though. But you know what I hate the most is when people that you loan money to act like they doing you a favor for paying you back.
Yeah, like you ought to be lucky that I'm giving you this money back. I could have continued to not pay.
That shit frustrates me more than anything. Like, dude, you owe me the fucking money. Just humbly place the money in my hand. Don't try to pull no funny business, no goofy shit, none of that. Don't try to act like I owe you and I'm paying you some money back and all this shit. I just seen a lot of stuff happen. And people like Lee Daniels, I hate him. I'm just gonna, hate is a strong word. People like Lee Daniels, I hate him because ain't nothing worse than a person who don't pay back their debt.
Yeah, that's a pretty sucker move. It's like you borrow money or you made money with someone and you had an agreement to pay them their share. Just give them their shit. Just give them their money.
Yeah, and in school, normally a fight comes when someone loans you a couple bucks. They see you at school a couple of times. Hey man, where my money at? I'll get you next week. You got the new J's on. Hey man, where my money? Hey, at what point do I have to lose my cool for you pay me my damn money? And I think that's where Dame Dash was at. He was at his breaking point. Like, damn.
What movie? Because what movie was this for?
He made the first movie. Initial movie was I forget the movie name, and he said Dame actually loaned him the money, and he made the money back and paid him the money back. So Dame was out, and Lee Daniels came like, I got another idea, and it's more expensive. And Dame Dash was like, nah, I don't really like the script, so I'm out. And Lee Daniels like basically convinced him, almost begged him to get the loan from Damon Dash. And the movie never came out. He ended up doing Precious and never answered his phone again.
Oh, so he didn't even produce the movie that in which he
didn't even do the movie.
Borrow money for.
No, the second movie, Dame Dash claims he never even completed the movie and ended up doing Precious and was like, fuck it, I'm out. And then Dame Dash was like, okay, you know, whatever. I know that you don't have like creative control. This is somebody else's money that's doing Precious. So when you do Empire.
Oh yeah, because I forgot he also is involved with Empire.
When you do Empire, you know, hook a brother up. Give me a role. Cool. And never happened. So then he say, hey, well give me 5% on any future projects.
Just give me some of my money back.
Just give me some payment.
Just show me that you're working with me. Show me that you're willing to work with me.
Do something. So I won't feel like a total bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm a street cat. You make me feel like a bitch. I don't want to put hands on you. So this guy just was like, fuck it. Let's just hire the lawyers. And so I guess Dame Dash saw the guy at the Diana Ross concert and was like, dude, I know you see me. You owe me $2 million. Like,
you got my money?
Where's my fucking money? Like, this shit ain't right. Like, I should be whooping your ass right now. I'm trying to have a civil conversation, trying to figure out why the fuck you think that you don't have to pay me when you and I both know that I loaned you that damn money.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dame Dash was completely within his rights to be highly agitated and confront the guy on the issue. I mean, hey, he didn't beat him up, so.
Yeah, I mean, and it was almost justified. Like, dude, like we at this concert, at least come and have a humble tone and say, hey, Dane, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I appreciate you giving me or something. This dude was like, we'll talk about this later, Dane.
That sounds like go fuck yourself. You're not getting anything.
And Damon Dad like, nah, man, this ain't right. We talking about this shit like.
Yeah, that would piss me off too. If you owe me $2 million and I say, hey, what's up, man? You got that $2 million? And you tell me we'll talk about this later. I would take offense to that.
And then at one point in the video, Dane was like, it ain't right, man. And Lee Daniels was heard saying, I know.
The world ain't right, Dane. The world ain't right. Oh, yeah, that's definitely an excuse for you to fuck somebody up.
Yeah, like, you know this shit is wrong.
Like, okay, I'm going to show you what's not right.
Yeah.
I'll show you what's not right.
Right. Hey, man, that's what a double jab right is for.
But I show you what is right. This from this side right here.
Right hook. Right hook to your eyeball.
Oh man, yeah. That is reason to really piss you off.
Yeah. Well, hey man, appreciate everybody for listening. This is another episode of The Breakdown.
Till next time, we appreciate all you guys for listening. I think this is what episode number 4, 5.
We're gonna put the episode in the right-hand corner.
Yeah, we would definitely start keeping track of these number-wise from a numerical standpoint.
And what links you wanna tell the people about?
Same as usual, standard links. TakeFlight214.com. If you would like to get any artwork and street art for your house, TakeFlight214.com because blank walls are boring. Also, don't forget, if you haven't already, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and also hit the subscribe button. And once you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification to be notified whenever we drop new videos.
And also, if you want to donate to a good cause, we have a really good non-profit we're working with. Please feel free to donate to the GoFundMe of this non-profit. It's called Kickstart .com. You can look at it www.kickzstart.com, and we'll put the link to the GoFundMe on the video.
So for Nate the Great from Flight 214,
And this is Ty signing out.
till next time.
Now we